All right, so it's the game 11 of the World Chess Championship, and these are the final moments. I want to point you to Anish's observation on Gukesh's head nod when he wins, and also the hand flick. Okay, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
he collapsed. He collapsed.
Yeah, cannot believe, and look at this. Gukesh wants to blitz out queen c6, but
Oof,
he is
wow, what a blunder. What a
posing.
blunder. Oh,
There
yeah,
you have
and this
it.
is it. Yeah, the match is over. And the typical head nod by Gukesh. And the aggression with which he threw his arm to the side. Did you see that?
Yeah. Wow. Incredible. What a
I think the
blunder.
adrenaline through the Gukesh's veins. I mean, this is just, the room, the entire room is there vibrating from that. How much adrenaline. In a second, he realized, he was fully tense. And from 1 second to the other, he realized that he's winning the game and likely winning the entire title now.
All right, maybe the entire title, not so much necessarily, given that he lost game 12 right after with the classic champion clapback from Ding Liren. But anyway, interesting observation from Anish. Clearly, he doesn't quite like Gukesh. I mean, to mock his handshake like that and say how it's shaking the whole room and stuff. It's very interesting. It's very interesting, and I've been thinking about this. It's an interesting topic. The whole chess world pretty much wants Ding to win. Ding is such a likable, nice guy. He's not going to threaten to, you know, claim to be the actual best in the world. He'll just claim like, yeah, I'm the world champion, and I'm a nice guy. Kokesh, on the other hand, is definitely trying to pose himself as this champion figure, the authority on chess. Uh, in a way, of course, we can all see from his games that he's still not a finished product. Even though he won the candidates, even though he does play exceptionally well, we can see that he has room to grow. And here in game 11, we're going to analyze it because we get to see some of the pitfalls, strengths, and weaknesses of both the players. So Gukesh is white, and he starts with this little bit atypical knight f3 reti opening. And Ding immediately goes for extra space and d4. Now, this d4 move is very interesting, and even in game 12, with the colors reversed, Gukesh ends up doing the exact same structure in the game that he loses. So I'm really not sure that this d4 idea is so hot. It's a harder one to play, I think. All right. So Gukesh goes for this wild line with b4 and makes the game very murky from early on, causing Ding Liren to burn a lot of time on the clock. So in that sense, it was a successful opening. Gukesh had studied this before, but he didn't know what to do next at this point. He just knew he was better, but didn't know why. And this is such a frequent thing I hear from players, is that they study an opening and they know that, okay, this is what I want to head towards. But if they don't know why they're headed there, then there's no point. Because a successful opening, in my opinion, is one where you come out of it knowing your middle game plans quite clearly, and they're easy to play, and position is suitable for your playing style. Like if you're a tactical player, it suits you. If it's a positional player, then it's calm and quiet, whatever. But to hear that Gukesh didn't know what he was supposed to do after getting the opening he wanted is not a great sign in many ways. Um, so what Gukesh needed to do here is pawn up. Makes room for the bishop to come to a variety of different squares. And yeah, but instead, what he does is he blocks it up. And this was his first major inaccuracy, let's say. And it's a strategic inaccuracy. It's a little ugly to look at. I mean, it's really quite ugly to look at, actually. Because this bishop now is such an awkward piece. So, yeah. winning the opening means that you get to a middle game position that you know how to play well, and that's not what Ding got. What Gukesh got here. Instead, Ding is the one who ended up with a good opening position. So, despite all the hoo-ha about Gukesh, about Ding playing so slowly in the opening, the fact did remain that he did get the better position. And you can see Black's pieces are quite harmoniously attacking a weakened pawn, and White is just holding on by a thread kind of tactically here. Uh, in on the other hand, Black is also you know, one thing you're going to remember in chess is that you don't want to keep pieces loose for too long. You don't want to have pins living unsolved for too long. It adds a lot of stress. It makes the calculations harder. Soon another motif comes into play and you're jackhammered. So uh, Ding is playing. Sorry. Ding is playing some good moves, and Gukesh is keeping up just about. And here Ding makes a strategic error. So like this was Gukesh's strategic error, this was Ding's strategic error. Because this bishop really belongs here in this side of the board. And also continuing to potentially be able to come on outer squares on this diagonal. From here, on the other hand, it's the classic fianchetto setup and keeps the king safe and defends the pawn, but otherwise the bishop isn't really doing anything productive. Of course, there's the other idea which Ding ends up playing in the game, but the move order is a bit too slow. And Gukesh finds the amazing move to handle it by playing a4 first, then this intermezzo in between move, b6, which challenges the queen, then the bishop here, and now the bishop here, and now bishop capture. And the subtlety is that the queen having moved here allows the bishop to capture and threaten. So that buys just about enough time for White to basically escape this weird diagonal where the queen was nearly trapped and get onto a good square, a powerful square. And from here, Gukesh played like a real magician with knight moves like knight c2. I mean, it's given a question mark here, but the simplicity behind the thinking is really quite impressive. And followed up with another question mark move, knight a1. But and even the computer eval is saying it's dead even. Everyone watching knows that Black is really struggling here because White's plans are so simple. This is the thing it comes back to. Having clear plans is really what it's all about. So many times an even position, even for a computer, is just too difficult to play for a human. And those are the kind of positions that you fall into here. Ding Loren chokes, and finally the game is over. So yeah, that's my recap for game 11. Uh, Ding Loren, of course, clapped back in game 12, so a wonderful comeback. And you have to say that Ding is the positional maestro, right? He's not a tactician like the way Gukesh is. So Gukesh, even though out of this opening he didn't get into a position that was in his comfort zone, the position itself happened to get complex enough that Gukesh's core strengths as a player, his calculation and tactics, that became the deciding factor. And Ding, for his end, even though he got a nice position, somehow things got a little bit out of control tactically. Like he maybe made it a bit too spicy with the double knights approach. You see, he had a chance earlier in the game to not go so haywire. He could have done it a lot more simple than going for it right here. He could have instead, what could he have done? He could have done many other things. He could have done many other things, but yeah. So play to your style, and that's the key point. All right, thank you. Bye.